May I have your attention, please? Good morning, everyone. I'm Takumu, and I'm chairing this group presentation today. We have two groups. I'd like to introduce the first group. They will give a presentation on impression formation. Are you ready to start?
Hello everyone, my name is Nanakogi. Today I would like to talk about the relationship between appearance and impressions. This is today's outline. Among many factors like clothes, hairstyle, and posture, and so on, appearance strongly affects how others see us. According to Yamamoto in 2000, she noted that facial appearance changes how people are judged. Also, she mentioned that controlled appearance like hairstyle, makeup can change people's impression, while the others like sponge shapes cannot. It shows that appearance helps people decide impressions quickly. In modern society, first impressions are made quickly and affect how people connect with others in persons or online. The purpose of my presentation is to examine how university students think about the influence of appearance on first impressions. The hypothesis of my research is that most students believe that appearance affects for the first impressions, and that they try to look good to give a positive image. Then I would like to explain about method of my research. I conducted on online and used Google Forms, and it was conducted on October 18 to 19 in 2025, and participants are 55 university students, including 21 males and 34 females. And there are 8 questions, including multiple choice and open-ended items. Then I would like to tell you that result of my survey. Figure 1 shows that people think that appearance is very important for the first impressions. Figure 2 shows that people think that clear person looks like smart and can work well. Figure 3 shows that a well-groomed person gives us a positive image, like bright, confident, outgoing, outgoing, and so on. Figure 4 shows that people think that it is important to try to good to give a positive image to meet someone for the first time. Let me summarize the point of my presentation. The purpose of my presentation was to examine how university students think about the influence of appearance on first impressions. From my research, it was found that appearance is very important and clean people give us a positive image, like usually makes a good image. It can be concluded that appearance is very important for the first impressions. In the future, I would like to research how colors, clothes, and faces affect people's feelings. This is reference.
Hello everyone, my name is Aoisato. Today I would like to talk about how our attitude and behaviors affect the impressions we make on others. People from various impression from others' attitudes and behaviors. Depending on how someone acts or even acts or even themselves, the impression can completely change. Caesar 2022 argued that the perception of sincerity is the key to successful impression management. Mihara 1998 also pointed out that people feel good impression when they see beautiful or graceful behaviors. Furthermore, Kawai et al. 2024 found that modest attitudes make people feel warmth and humanity. The purpose of this presentation is, however, it is still unclear what kinds of attitudes or behaviors make other sincerity or leave a positive impression. Understanding what this is important because our impression influence our communication, relationships, and even opportunities in new environment. By studying what makes people appear sincere, we can learn how to build trust and connect better with others. The purpose of this presentation is to examine what kinds of attitudes and behaviors make others feel sincerity, passive sincerity, and as a result, from good impression. This is today's outline. The purpose of this presentation was to clarify what kinds of behaviors make uh, make methods. と A questionnaire survey was conducted to test the hypothesis. Survey subject, 30 male and female, from first to fourth students, and the survey conducted October 14 to October 21st, 2025. In result, first question, do you think your attitude and behavior make a good impression on others? As you know, all 30 people answered yes. Next, which of the following attitudes and behaviors do you think will make a good impression on others? はい。24 out of 30 people answered he seems sincere. Let me summarize this presentation. Caesar attitude gives the best impression. Politeness and respectful speech express sincerity. Small actions clear big impressions. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Miyuki Tagawa. Today I would like to talk about the relationship between impressions and occupations. People unconsciously form the various impressions of strangers in their daily lives. And then occupation is a good way to know the person's personalities and society status and values. According to Mishima and Matsumoto 1998, people in teaching professions seems like as stable and warms, but however, people in industrial technologies occupations seems like professional. Therefore, the people have a lot of impressions for various occupations. So the purpose of this presentation is to clarify the role of occupational impressions and how works it. This is today's outline. First, I will talk about the method of my research. Second, I will show the result of my survey. Finally, I will I will talk about summary of my presentations. This is method. My survey is conducted from university students and answered 31 students. It was October 19 to 26, 2025, and it's answered corrected by using Google Form. This is a result. First, and over 95% people changed their impressions by knowing their occupations. And the most important factor of occupation is expertly and deep knowledge. And it was about 40% people answered. And over 80% people answered that when they know the person's occupations, he changed whether they can be trusted. Let me summarize my presentations. People have various impressions of occupations in society. In addition, occupation has a significant impact on impressions, formations, and trustworthiness. This is references. Let me summarize the point of my presentations. First, Masana investigates the relationship between personalities and impressions. The people from favorite impressions with similar impressions, similar personalities, and Nanako appearances. Nanako says the relationship between appearances and impressions. The green and very groomed appearance lead to positive impressions. And Aoi says that the relationship between attitude and impressions, she found it that the sincere attitude, it gives the best impressions. Finally, I talked about the relationship between occupations and impressions. I found that many people has various impressions, and it affects trustworthiness and forming impressions. Therefore, to build a good relationship, it is important to care not only one's appearance and attitude, but also cultivate internal qualities such as sincerity and professionalism. Thank you for listening.
I'd like to introduce the second group. They will give a presentation on the impression you make on others. Are you ready to start?
Hello everyone, my name is Sakura Miyashita. We constantly impress people and receive impressions from others in our daily lives. There is also a neural process in infant brains that observes other people's behavior and forms impressions. This means so that The power to make an impression exists from the very beginning of human development. In addition, impressions have a sufficient impact on relationships. Based on these theoretical backgrounds, this study considers what actions and attitudes lead to good impression in daily lives. The hierarchical relationships such as club activities, lovers, part-time jobs, local people, and friendships. First, relationships with local people. In recent years, it is said that the connection between people has become weakened and the relationships between local people have become thin. Making a good impression is improve local safety and health. According to Sasaki and Yoshida 2018, close and natural relationships such as trust, consultation, greetings, and dependable relationships lead to positive sense of community. To clarify this, the purpose of this presentation is to identify the elements necessary to make good impressions on local people. By clarifying of this, it will be possible to contribute to the formation of a better local community. This is outline. First, introduction, next method, after results, finally conclusion. To clarify the purpose of this study on an online engage using Google Forms. And response were collected from 30 university students between October 24 and 25 in 2025. Results in the moment when you felt a connection with people in the area. I felt connection through events such as festival, radio, gymnastics events, and the 17 of the 30 participants when I greeted them. Even if it is an important factor to make a good impression on the local people. 12 of the 13 participants answered greetings, and 10 people smiled, and 4 people friendliness. Among them, in question 3, which factors that were especially important because local people in the community? 12 of the 13 people answered greetings. Finally, when asked the importance of connecting with local people and importance of making a good impression, question 4 and question 5. 99% of the response was that it was important or rather importance. Let me summarize this presentation. The purpose of this presentation was to identify the elements necessary making a good impression. The survey showed that greeting is very important in relation to local people. In addition, smiling and helping each other have become important impressions that lead to greetings. And it has also been discovered once again that many people think it is a community that should be cherished. Based on these results, I would like I should investigate the characteristics of people who are easy to greet. This is differences.
Hello everyone, my name is Shotaro Yamaguchi. Today I would like to talk about romantic relationships. According to Osaka Knowledge Archive in 2001 with 178 participants, it was found that men tend to perceive the love that is more complex than women think. Complex at this problem refers to that things that love cannot succeed with just feelings of love for someone. It was also found that women tend to perceive the love that is more positively than men. Uh, on the other hand, uh, in the response to the question about reasons of romantic interest against the opposite sex, women, women often to pick inner desires. However, men often mentioned physical attractiveness. Physical attractiveness is an important factor for men when developing romantic feelings. And inner desires is an important factor for women. However, in this research, the reasons for romantic interest against the opposite sex is based on the feelings developed before becoming a couple, and it is not the feeling that they have after starting the relationship. So, in this research, I will find the reasons behind the affection that people in romantic relationships feel against the partner and to understand the ideal partner. The hypothesis is that after being couple, most of them emphasize inner charms. The purpose of this presentation is to examine the important factor on dating with someone. This is today's outline. First, I will explain how I conducted the questionnaire. Second, I will talk about the result of questionnaire. Finally, I will summarize the research at this moment. First, I will explain how I conducted the questionnaire. Questionnaire was conducted on whether the hypothesis is correct or not. The way to verify the hypothesis is the questionnaire on Google Forms. The questionnaire was conducted on a total of 61 people, 36 men and 25 women, ranging from high school to university, October 19th to 26th. A total of 61 people participated in this research, consisting of 59% males and 41% females. Most respondents that were 41 people were under 80 years old. In the question, what the value more in a partner, 59% chose appearance features and 41% goes to inner charms. Among the people who prioritize the appearance, 63% people goes to people the face was the most important factor. For the people who goes to inner charms, 56.8% goes to kindness and followed by empathy and positivity. Examples of behaviors showing some inner charms are showing concern when the partner is sick or the supporting partner's goal. Overall, the result suggests that most respondents, especially in the young age, value emotional connection and kindness in relationship. In this research, I gained the answers from 61 students. I will want to consider what I can understand from the result in the final presentation. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, my name is Yuito Hayakawa. Today I would like to talk about internal and external characteristic in friendship. Friendship is very important in university life. It gives students emotional support, reduce stress, and helps them feel happy and connected in others. Previous students have shown the first impressions of behavior have a strong influence on friendship gain. People often feel close to the who smile, make eye contact, and listen carefully. Also, shown kindness and understanding, helping build trust and closeness between people. However, only a few students have looked at which inner or outer traits university students think are most important in their friends. The purpose of study is to find out what personal characteristic student value most in friendship. In this research, internal traits refer to things like cleanliness and facial expressions. A questionnaire survey was connected with university students to find out which traits they think are more important in making a keeping friendship. It was expected that inner traits would be valued more than appearance. Understanding this can help students improve their communication skills, create better relationship, and grow personality during university life. This is today's outlines. The survey was conducted with 66 university students aged between 18 and 23 for October 19th to 27th. Participants were asked about their gender, age, and whether their value inner or outer traits more. They also choose or described the traits they think are important in their friendship and explain the reason for their choosing. As a result, 93.9% of students said they were inner traits, while only 6.1% said they care more about appearance. Among the participants, 38 were men and 28 were women, and most were between 90 and 20 years old. The most common inner traits chosen was kindness, directed by 28.8% of students. Many say that kindness is important because it helps people trust each other and maintain good relationship. The next most common answer was empathy at 80.2%, honesty at 69%, and a sense of humor at 50.2%. These results show that students place high value or personality and emotional connected rather than looks. In conclusion, this student shows that inner traits are more important than outer appearance in friends. While appearance can help make a good first impression, it is personality that makes friendship last over time. These findings suggest this showing empathy, kindness, and honesty can help students build better relationship and create a positive atmosphere in their daily lives. This is a difference.
Hello everyone, my name is Yuda Weta. Today I would like to talk about impression club activity relationships. People in Japan tend to worry about their making good relationships and are giving good impression some communities. So according to Takahashi and Saito, 2015 found that it is important to give good impression at first, and having any problems, relationships could make our health bad, but not only physical health, but not also mental health, such as suicide in worst case. So it is very important to reveal how to give a good impression in club activities. The purpose of this presentation is to examine what kind of people could give a good impression and being liked by others in club activities. This is today's outline. At first, I would like to talk about the research method, and second, I'll talk about results separately in ages. Finally, I will conclude this presentation. A survey was conducted among more than 40 students from 20 years old to 25 years old. The gender is male and female and others. The method is a Google form, and the question was, what are important factors of relationships to you when you are in the club activity? And participants were asked choice and one option from 8 choices, such as appearance, skill level, sense of humor, kindness, comfort, attitude toward club activities, shared hobbies, and leaderships. And also, they were asked 3 different situations, such as same age player, senior player, and younger player. This one is the same for the same age player. The top choice, the first choice is 43.9%. This figure looks like kind of complicated. The purple one is the first choice. Comfort is the first choice for same age player. And second choice is 24.4% is sense of humor. And third is attitude toward our club activities. The next is for senior player. The most important fact was kindness, and followed by leadership, and sense of humor is 14.6%. And next is for younger player. It's the first choice is a sense of humor, and 41%, and followed by attitude, and so on. Then this the figure 1 is the same age, figure 2 is the senior, and figure 3 is a younger age. And overall, the top choice was different between these 3, but the option sense of humor was selected all situations, even though it's not a first choice. Let me summarize the point of this presentation. The purpose of this presentation was to reveal what kind of people could give a good impression and being liked by others in club activities. This presentation has examined what factors that people think important in club activity relationships. From the research, it was found that factors are different between situations such as same age players, senior players, and younger players. And sense of humor is one of the factors that was selected by every situation. It can be concluded that the factors of impression in club activity relationships are changing depends on situations. This is reference. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, my name is Oto Hanamura. Today, I'd like to talk about impression and part-time job. Interpersonal relationship in part-time job strongly affect the workplace atmosphere and performance. Previous studies show that show that responsibility and genuineness help people make good impression. Shaffer and Postless Weight 2013 found that responsible people perform better and are seen as more trustworthy. They also reported that following rules and laws rules and laws improve teamwork and productivity. Law et al. 2023. Generous people avoid being late or lazy and are trusted by others. These findings suggest that honest and responsible behavior helps build good relationship at work. However, most of these studies focus on full-time workers, not part-time employees. The purpose of this study is to find out how responsibility and genuineness are related to good impression among student part-time workers. I made the hypothesis that students with great responsibility and genuineness tend to be liked by their colleagues. This is today's outline. A questionnaire survey was conducted from October 14th to 2025. The participants were 31 university students, both male and female, who have part-time job experience. Based on previous studies, I asked whether responsibility is important part-time job. About 48.4% people said, I think so, and 45.2% said, I strongly think so, figure 1. The most common behavior showing responsibility was being punctual, 20.6%, followed by completing tasks, 19.4%, and not being punctual, 12.9%, figure 2. Next, I asked whether genuineness is important in part-time job. About 51.6%, I strongly think so, and 41.9%, I think so. The most common behavior showing genuineness was not telling lies, 35.5%. Other common answers were reporting mistakes, not being absent, and apologizing. Other common answers were reporting mistakes, not being absent, and apologizing, each with 9.7%, figure 4. When asked, who they try to make a good impression on 53.3% answered both colleagues and both equally, figure 5. Let me summarize the point of this study. The purpose of this study was to find out how responsibility and genuineness are related to good impression among student part-time workers. The results supported the hypothesis that responsible and genuine students are liked by their colleagues. In the future, research should focus on how these traits affect teamwork and job satisfaction. This is differences. Over the overall conclusion, the purpose of this study was to find out what action and attitude good impression in daily relationships. 5 groups were studied: local people, partners, club members, friends, part-time job coworkers. Next step is to analyze and compare the factors that create a good impression. Thank you for listening.